What's up YouTube? Today I want to show you 3 free plugins by blepfx. So one is a filter, one is a distortion, and one is called Crunchrr. It's kind of like a ring modulator type effect. So I'm particularly interested in the filter because it does some really cool stuff that you don't often see in other filters. But I'm going to show you all of the plugins because they are pretty cool. So I say free plugins, but it's one of those kind of name your price situations. So you can pay for them if you want. I ended up supporting the developer because I feel like independent developers do need the support, and they are really, really good plugins, like definitely worth it. So I ended up paying for them, but you can get them for free. So they're still technically free plugins. So, I mean, that's up to you if you want to pay for them or if you want to get them for free. So anyway, today I want to show you why I think Filtrr is particularly cool, but I'm also going to show you why the other ones just sound really cool. So here I've got Vital. Just a basic saw wave. It's on monophonic with some glide and legato. I've got a MIDI pattern here, which I'm going to let run. And I'm going to show you some of the cool things that are within this filter. Here are the other ones, by the way. As you can see, there's kind of like a minimal user interface thing going on. But this one, the filter, actually is hiding quite a lot of power. It's hiding its power level, just put it that way. So the basic controls are like here. There's like an XY. This control is the limiter. So what often happens, like if you're boosting the resonance in a filter, you can often get this kind of saturation effect that happens. And this limiter basically allows you to adjust that kind of saturation that you get, like more or less. So that's already something that's pretty unique. I mean, I've seen it in other filters, but it's pretty unique. Here, the right click basically opens up the modulation system. So if we right click and drag here, you can see it kind of gives us that display of those values. And then if we click mod, we can go to sine, and you can actually change like the speed of modulation. So we've got different types of LFOs. You can also trigger an envelope from the incoming MIDI. And you can also just let it do like an audio follower type situation. Just to keep it simple, I'm going to go with a sine wave. Let's just see what this sounds like. Another really cool thing that's built in here that I don't think I've seen in very many other filters is the ability to modulate the type. So here, if we right click, you'll see it display basically turns into type mod instead of type. So we could change these into various different types, low pass, band pass, etc. Or we can modulate that switch between the different filter types. This is really, really cool because especially here, you can kind of see all the different filter types kind of displayed here. Really, really cool kind of use of that minimal interface. It sounds so good. I mean, usually with filters, when you take that kind of modulation into those really high frequencies, it just kind of turns into mush. But I believe there's some kind of like oversampling and stuff happening in here. In fact, there definitely is, because you can set it over here. And that kind of helps the internal modulation and stuff kind of react quicker than if you had to do it without that oversampling. Obviously, because inside the plugin, it's clocking, it's like overclocked, right? So the modulation is obviously able to go much higher in frequency without it just turning into kind of like blocks, right? And so if you find like, okay, maybe it's not as smooth as you'd like it, that modulation, you can actually increase the amount of oversampling and stuff that's happening here. Really, really cool. So you can push that modulation so far to the point where it's kind of creating its own waveform. Do you know what I mean? Because now it's in audio rate. Once you kind of get past that kind of 20 hertz, it becomes audio rate. So you're creating your own kind of wave shapes and unique timbres that way. Super, super cool stuff. And for the inverse effect, like here where I turn that quality up, you can kind of turn it down to kind of change that tone once you're in audio rate. So here, if we turn it all the way up to 20 kilohertz, okay, that's too much. Now we can change the quality to change the brightness of those kind of overtones. So it sounds more digital now. Crazy stuff. Super, super cool. And like I said, you know, it's hiding its power level because this kind of like modulation where you can really push it to the point of audio rate and you can hear that it's not just turning into mush. You can hear that it's super smooth. It's really, really good stuff. We also have various different modes here, like subtle, heavy, warm, fuzz, chew, fold, and clean. And you can quickly see what mode you're in just by the colors, which is, I think, another cool design choice. Heavy, chew, and fold are definitely my favorite sounding ones. You can kind of hear it, well, not kind of, because it's pretty, it's not that subtle, but you can kind of hear what it does is it changes the kind of tone of that resonance. With a clean, you get that really clean, almost sine wave-like resonant effect, whereas with the other ones, it's either kind of different kind of waveforms. Here it's more saturated. Here it feels like there's almost no resonant effect. It's all in the lows. Good stuff. Okay, so that's Filtrr. I think there are a couple of other things here, but I'm not going to go into that anymore. Now we're going to look at Destruqtor, which is blepfx's distortion unit. So this one is a little bit more simple. There's not much going on kind of under the hood in terms of modulations and that kind of thing. I guess the kind of special thing here is this frequency system. So this basically just changes like the tone of the distortion. You know, with distortions, they add overtones. And so here you can basically mix between odd or even overtones, or kind of mix of both, right? 100-100. But I think the kind of more special thing here is this filter, which basically filters just the distorted signal. So you can kind of use it to add just a kind of textural layer on top of a sound, as opposed to just distorting the whole sound, right? So here, for example, you can hear we're like distorting the full signal, but we can actually use this to kind of cut out. It's weird because it's kind of backwards. Here, this is the low frequency, this is the low cut, and this is the high cut. Or you could use it to like just distort the lower frequencies. It's probably a bit harder to hear what's going on because this filtering is happening. What I'll maybe do is I won't play the MIDI. We can turn off the filter and I'll just show you with no. Let me just maybe put like delay and reverb here just so that it's not so in it. Relatively clean. But then lower notes getting distorted. Doesn't work as well with like a saw wave, for example, because it's not doing it on a note basis, it's doing it on frequencies, and saw waves have like everything above the fundamental. I don't know if that's making any sense, but here, let's just put on like basic shape sine wave. Here we have a clean, and then clean sort of lower tone. And then we can dial in distortion on the high frequencies. That's pretty cool. Let's turn up some glide here. You can kind of hear, when you're sliding the note, you can kind of hear where that distortion kind of tapers off. That's really nice. Okay, so like I said, this one is much simpler. There's not too much stuff going under the hood here, except kind of like this gain. If you can change the gain and then double click to set it to auto gain. I usually just leave that as is and play around with the distortion and that filtering. Okay, so the last one that I want to look at today is Crunchrr. So this is pretty similar to another plugin that I've actually shown quite a few times called Crisp. It's basically a ring modulation effect with various different settings. So here we can use a bandpass noise, we can use sine waves or various different actual waveforms. So these are cool. The kind of waveformy stuff is cool for lead sounds to kind of add a almost filtering effect, which I'll show you just now. The bandpass noise is really, really good for stuff like 808s or sine wave bass lines, which are really low frequency, but you want to be more audible on like a smaller speaker system where you don't have that kind of lower frequency. So like, let's say, for example, you're writing a song and the low bass sound is in like C, which is like lower than 40 hertz, which the subwoofer can't produce. You're not really going to hear it. But then adding something like slight noise that's ring modulated to that tone, it kind of helps for that frequency to be more audible. So let me make an example here with that same vital sound, right? So if we go super low, I'm actually going to put like this Destruqtor afterwards to give it some saturation. Just so we can hear a bit better what's going on here. Do you hear what I mean? It kind of like vibrates at that frequency rather than just that low tone. Obviously you want to mix it in, you don't want to go all the way. But it helps for that low frequency to just be more audible. Anyway, let's go back to a saw wave. So the other wave shapes here in Crunchrr are really cool for adding like more of a filtery effect. So this basically is a stereo offset for the phase of these oscillators. So this is really nice for creating some stereo effect on maybe a lead that doesn't have much stereo. Or if it's too much, you can kind of dial it back. But I like it just a little bit for these kinds of things. Let's actually use this filter as well. Oh, that's cool. It would be cool to see some kind of internal modulation system here, like with the right-click thing like there is in the Filtrr. But, I mean, I've got blepfx, so it's not really too much of an issue for me. Cool. That's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you want to support me, then the best way to do so is either on Patreon or check out my store. I'll also post links in the description. Thanks again for tuning in. If you haven't yet, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.